When life gets quiet, there comes a moment in life when you look around and realize your world is quieter than everyone else. No buzzing notifications, no constant invites, no group chats filled with noise. Just silence, just space, just you. And in that quiet, a strange thought creeps in. Does this mean something is wrong with me? But let me tell you something the world never teaches. The lack of friends in your life is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of alignment, a sign of depth, a sign that your soul refuses to settle for shallow company. The Stoics knew this truth thousands of years ago. And today we're going to uncover exactly what your solitude means and why it might be the greatest advantage of your entire life. Let's begin. 1. When your mind thinks deeply, shallow people fall away. Have you ever tried to share something meaningful with someone who only lives for gossip, entertainment, or distractions? You bring something real. They respond with something empty. You bring depth. They give you the surface. And without even trying, you drift apart. This is not loneliness. This is filtration. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed by the color of its thoughts." If your thoughts are rich, curious, and introspective, then shallow people will never feel like home. Those who live lightly connect quickly because nothing is required of them. But you crave truth. You crave sincerity. You crave connection that isn't disposable. And people like that, people like you, don't blend in easily. Rarity never does. If you feel like you don't fit into the casual circles around you, it's because you are not meant to. You are built for depth, not for noise. Solitude is where self-mastery takes shape. Most people fear being alone, not because they love company, but because they fear themselves. Silence forces them to face their thoughts, their insecurities, their unresolved pain, their fragmented identity. So they run into crowds to avoid the mirror within. But you can sit in a quiet room and not collapse. That is strength. That is discipline. That is rarity. Epictetus told his students, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish or strange." Why? Because choosing solitude instead of cheap company makes you look different to people who have never met their own reflection. While others distract themselves from their fears, you face yours head-on. While others drown themselves in noise, you build clarity. While others cling to crowds to escape themselves, you become your own anchor. This is not loneliness. This is training. This is your forge. This is self-mastery. 3. Quality will always demand a smaller circle. Imagine 2 tables. At one, 20 people laugh loudly at hollow jokes, temporary moments, connections that disappear by morning. At the other table sits just one person, but the conversation is genuine. The silence is comfortable. The presence is real. Which table would you choose? Seneca wrote, "Associate with people who will make you better." This means something important. If your life has fewer people in it, it often means you've outgrown the shallow table. You refuse gossip, drama, fake interest, surface-level conversations, friendships dependent on convenience. Your solitude isn't a void. It's a filter. Every season of solitude is removing the people who are not meant to walk the road ahead of you. Don't fear the empty seats. They are making room for the real ones. 4. The right people arrive when you stop dimming your light. There's a deep truth here. If you keep shrinking yourself to fit into shallow circles, the people who truly match your depth will never see you. You cannot meet the right souls if you're hiding your true self to please the wrong ones. The Stoics warned about this. You cannot control who stays, who leaves, who understands you, who misjudges you, who values you, who overlooks you. The only thing you can control is your authenticity. When you stay rooted in your values, your honesty, your discipline, your depth, your standards, you emit a frequency that the right people recognize instantly. It may take time, it may take seasons, but depth attracts depth. Not quickly, but inevitably. The quiet years you're living right now are not punishment. They are preparation. They are clearing the path, so you do not settle for the wrong hands, the wrong hearts, the wrong connections. The right people are not late. They arrive when you stop compromising who you are. 5. What the lack of friends actually means about you. Let's be direct. If you have few friends, or even no friends at the moment, it means something powerful. Heavy checkmark, you have standards. You don't allow just anyone into your inner world. Heavy checkmark, you refuse to tolerate shallow connections. You're not interested in relationships that drain more than they give. Heavy check mark, you're self-aware. You know who you are and won't shrink for others. Heavy check mark, you value peace over popularity. You would rather sit alone in truth than be surrounded by people who exhaust your soul. Heavy check mark, you're building yourself, not social circles that collapse. Most people surround themselves with noise to avoid facing their emptiness. You choose silence because you're building fullness. That is not weakness. That is superiority. 6. The Stoic way, alone but not lonely. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "He who is at peace with himself is never truly alone." Solitude becomes loneliness only when you abandon yourself. But when you stand firmly within, when you cultivate strength in the quiet spaces of your life, you become whole. And wholeness doesn't fear the empty room. It needs the empty room. Your solitude is not a sign of absence. It is a sign of presence. Your presence, your clarity, your growth. It is the season where you sharpen your mind, strengthen your discipline, and learn to walk without leaning. And when the right people arrive, they will not be rescuers. They will be companions, not filling your emptiness, but matching your fullness. Walk your path with dignity. So the next time you look at your life and see fewer names, fewer calls, fewer distractions, don't assume you're failing. Assume you're evolving. Assume you're filtering. Assume you're being prepared for the kind of connections that don't break. The lack of friends means this: you refuse to settle. You value quality over noise. Your soul is too deep for shallow company. And you are walking a path that only the strong can walk alone. This is not sadness. This is sovereignty. This is strength. This is the Stoic way.